we have our Mr. Percy right here in studio, and I will allow him to introduce himself, just to give you a hang of who we are speaking to.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. That's quite energetic. My name is Percy. I'm in fact a former student of Nust.
Okay.
And I'm pleased to be here with you guys.
We're pleased to have you here.
Currently now serving as the senior manager responsible for marketing and communication at the fund. We are passionate about student funding.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll dive right into our interview. Just bring you, the issuing of the cards. I'm sure everybody's seeing this trending everywhere on Twitter and Facebook. You no longer have to sit there, wondering what is happening. Mr. Percy will, gladly answer your questions. But if you have any questions you want to also ask, you can always call in at 085-6365-351. That is 085-6365-351.
And we're also live on our social media platforms. That is Facebook. So you can drop your questions in the comment section, and Mr. Percy will definitely answer those questions for you. With that said, first question, Mr. Percy. Everyone is just like, how? Okay. So, Mr. Percy, what will be done differently, compared to your previous partnerships with NAMIC? Because we used to withdraw from Bank Windhoek. So now, no more Bank Windhoek. Are we going to FNB now?
No.
Okay.
No. We found a very strategic partner called Bank Windhoek. As you can recall, previously for the past 4 years, we've been in a very good relationship also with NAMIC. We went through a tendering process where we looked for a financial institution to assist us in issuing this, what we call NSFAF payment cards. We now found a bank. Strategically, they are all over the country. They have a lot of branches. This is also now for the first time we are issuing what we call a Visa card. It's not like the previous one from NAMIC, where you could only withdraw at Bank Windhoek. This one you can withdraw everywhere, anywhere around the world, and that's the flexibility that we've brought about in issuing of these cards.
Oh, life made easier.
Yeah, that is really a positive aspect to bring to this, because it was really limiting having to send in a line, not only students but also the working class, and you're all waiting for that one ATM, for everybody to withdraw. But also to just bring us to our next point, how long will it take to then issue these new NSFAF cards?
That's a good one, and I think we need to be a bit patient. We have about 42,000 continuing students that we are serving, that are on our portfolio, and then we have about another 15,000 that we are onboarding for this year. So now we are transitioning from the NAMIC previous card to the Bank Windhoek one. So we are issuing cards to everybody. So it's quite a process. What we've done right now, we've started in the capital city, especially at the University of Namibia and also at Nust. As you can see, a lot of we are already onboarding at Nust right now at your foyer and also at the university. So it's going to be a long process. We'll be here up until the 30th of August, and then we'll move to the other centers. Our next point, we are moving to the north. We would be participating there during the Ogwediva Trade Fair, and then we move to the other stations like Katima, like Rundu, like Keetmanshoop, and the rest. But we are not limiting anybody. If there are students in smaller universities and so on, they are more than welcome to join us either at NAST or at UNAM to also get their cards.
Okay. Yes. Well, basically, if I understand this very well, it's they are probably based at UNAM or NAST, because that's where majority of the students are.
That's it.
Because the fact that you are you're allocated at NUST or UNAM, students from other institutions like IUM feel like they are being left out. But he made that very clear right now. Nobody is being left out. What should, beneficiaries, present at the issue points, to acquire, what do you call this, a card?
That's a great question. Because these are continuing students, we've issued them previously with the NAMIC card, what we used to call a NAMIC card. So students are already on our database. So what we will be requiring is them to produce an ID. Just an ID. This is part of our process in terms of because we are also dealing with a bank. You need to be registered as a KYC, know your client. And it's important that we see you and we see your identity document, and then we can issue. The process takes about 10 minutes. We also have before that we are requesting students to fill in a survey. The survey, we are generating a lot of their information on a database. So when students are sitting in a queue, they should have filled in or completed that survey is on our website, www.nusfaf.na. They are more than welcome to do that because it's a prerequisite for them to do that.
Okay. All right. Now, I think everybody is thinking, okay, now I got my card. Now what now? Do I get my refund? When? So maybe you can just touch a little bit on the payments in regards to the tuition fees and also your refunds to the students.
That's also a good one, and we need to clarify this one because the issuance of the card doesn't imply that immediate payment. As I said, we have got about 42,000 students for whom we need to issue these cards. Only thereafter, once we've completed the process, which we think it's going to take about for the next 2 or 3 months, we can then start with a payment issue.
Okay.
But I want to encourage all students, all continuing students, that to go to our centers, to go to where we are, and please make sure that you obtain your own card. You know what is the beauty of this card? You can actually also deposit money in it. You can use it. Okay. So even if NSFAF doesn't pay, you can already start using the card. Okay. We call it a Visa card. Yeah.
Okay. And now for the questions from everybody else out there, they would like to know: will the payments of refunds to these new cards only, start going once all the students countrywide have registered for their new cards, or when will the refunds start?
Let me make two distinctions. Okay. We've done away with the word called refunds. Right. We now do what we call tuition fees payment and non-tuition fees. Okay. So our priority now is to make sure that students are in class, students are studying, students have access to examination. Therefore, our prioritization now goes towards what we call tuition fees. Okay. We need to pay your tuition fees so that you are able to sit in class, to study, and to sit for your exams. Yeah. So that we don't see a number of students coming to our offices telling us that, I couldn't be allowed to write exams because you guys have not paid tuition fees. So we are prioritizing that one. As soon as that is done, we would then talk about non-tuition fees. Non-tuition fees are fees that can assist students with a bit of accommodation, a bit of taxi, and a bit of, something like that. Yeah. So the word refund has died long ago.
All right. Okay. I think that is very clear. We also have another question, directed to you, and it says, when will they upload our contracts on our portals for those of us who are first-time applicants?
Okay, I also need to clarify this one. The issuance of the cards are only for continuing students for now. We've started with a new process. As you can recall, we had a number of about 12,600 students whom we could not fund. Yes. Up until we found a bit of resources, and we are grateful to the state, to government, for having provided for all. We are now in the process of contracting with those students. They need to sign their contract, they need to initial every page, they need to upload it on our system. So it is not up to NSFAF. It is the student. They must go onto their portal, they must log on, they must actually download the award letters and the contracts and so on. If your award letter or your contract is not loaded on, we are still now in the process, because as I said, we are dealing with about 15,800 students. And those that have appeared on the list that we have provided to the institutions of higher learning, that we are continuing to improving it as well, that is on our website. Don't despair, please, and don't fear anything. NSFAF, as a funding agent of the state, is there to assist you. So don't feel discomforted or whatever, because your contract is not on. We will revert back to you.
Okay.
Yes.
And from Facebook, we do have a few comments and questions from a few people watching right now. And Fesi Israel is asking, I am currently doing pre-engineering. Am I going to put another application next year? That was the first. And we also do have from Simon Lysias, who says, how fast will this be if only based in only 2 public universities? We don't want NSFAF to ruin the elections. We want to vote with happy faces and big smiles. We also do have Henry Kantewa, who says bring the money, and of course Thomas PK, who says, how about other students who are not based in Windhoek? We must travel along the way from where we are to get the cards to UNAM and NUST.
First of all, I must respond to the last one because it's taking care of a lot of concerns. We are traveling the breadth and width of this country. We are getting to each of the institutions of higher learning to make sure that all of our students, the highest concentration of our students are here. They are in the north and then upwards, Katima, Rundu, Kiedmanshoop, and so on, as well as Swakopmund Walvis. So we would be getting there, and we would communicate where we are going. As I said, we are here up until the 30th of August. We would be on the 23rd of August up to the 31st. We are at the Ngwediva Trade Fair. Everybody traveling from everywhere around this country, and they are at the trade fair. They are more than welcome to visit us. They must just have their ID, and they must appear on the list. So that is the one. The second one is the pre-engineering program. Pre-engineering program is funded for only a year because we do not know whether the student will progress or not. Therefore, next year it will be a new application, provided that you have passed, provided that you have registered as well. Yes.
All right. We also have another question that came in here, and it says, how about if I lost my documents? How then do they, I assume, get their cards? How long does the period run? Is there probably a late registration into getting the cards, or is there a period and then after that, if you don't have your identification cards, you cannot apply for that is the cards, the NSFAF cards?
I think that's an easy one, and as we know, if you have lost any of your documents, you then get a declaration. So that declaration you can produce, and if you also have a copy, I'm sure that you might have lost the original ID, but if you have a copy that can reflect that is you. But so first of all, you are appearing on the list, and secondly, you have a copy or you have a declaration of your ID from the police that it got lost or so. Yes.
So another question from Henry Kantewa, who says, I am a third year and my contract ended, but I paid one semester by myself. So can I get the card, and will NSFAF continue paying?
That's a tricky one. I would encourage that person to go to our offices. But I would rather say we fund per an academic year. You need to have progressed. You need to have passed to the next year. So he says he's a final year student or a third year student.
Third year.
I don't even know how he then paid for himself. I'm sure that every student that pay for themselves, once NSFAF have made their payments to the institutions of higher learning, they can then reclaim, whatever they have paid from the institutions of higher learning. Yes.
All right, I think that wraps it up for now. But if you want to call in, we'll give Mr. Percy maybe 2 more minutes in studio, and then you can call in or text us with your concerns at 085-6365-351. That is 085-6365-351.
But before Mr. Percy goes, do you basically have anything else that you want to share with us?
Yes, we are onboarding students for the new payment card. It is important that I encourages everybody funded by this institution of state to make sure that they obtain their card. It is only by obtainance of your card that you can then expect payment in the future. And this is only for continuing students. I take note of students that possibly have already completed their studies, have 1 or 2 modules to go, of which we have paid for already. We are not taking care of those ones. So we have a list. Please go out there, make sure that you obtain your card, use it. Deposit money, ask your friends, your parents, and everybody to deposit money in it, and make sure that you become a Bank Windhoek NSFAF client at the end of the day.
Thank you. I have one more question, and I'm speaking under correction, but I'm aware that most students, after completion of your 3-year degree, you no longer get funding, I think, for your honors. Will that be improved, or has that been spoken about somewhere in the pipeline? Will it be worked on, or is it a done deal? And if we want to pursue our honors, we'll have to fund for it ourselves.
Now, honors is viewed as a postgraduate program. You have actually 3 stages of academic. You have your VTCs. You have your undergraduate program, and then you have your postgraduate program. So for honors, especially students that are at Nust, they then goes into what we call postgraduate programs. So you can apply as a new applicant towards your honors for for postgraduate studies, provided that it is a priority field of study, that is,
all those factors
and
coming
all
into
those
play.
factors coming into play.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.